What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? I don't know, you're not there. I give you my love, but you don't care. So what is right? What is wrong? Give me a sign. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Hello, it's Uncle Jim, and yes, I should be out writing this in a video right now, but there's a few little things we had to fix before we do that video. And a couple of them were welding and fixing little tiny stuff to make it right. All right, so give me a break. I'll take it up the chicane. So anyway, we had to weld a broken rear foot peg mount, which we're going to use for a fender mount, and try not to burn out the powder coat on the frame and touch it up. And this thing was driving me nuts. It was rattling, making a bunch of noise. That got bent somehow. And so we're going to pound out the top crease and then worry about the bottom crease later. So I'm just pounding this out so we can weld it and get it close. And then we'll get that bottom crease out of there. All right. So my SIG is, my kit, SIG? My son is using a TIG welder plugged into regular outlet on this. For this situation, it was good enough. And we're trying not to burn as much powder coat as possible, fixing the rear peg mount and the front plate. And then we can pound out that crease later and hopefully touch it up. Now, we looked around for paint in the garage, and Anna had paint that was pretty close. It was close enough to where I can blend, kind of finesse and buff out, and no one's ever going to know. So while I'm at it, I'm going to touch up some scars on the bike, and the paint is close enough to kind of feather it in, and then I'll buff them all together, and it's all hypnotizing. All right, while I was at it, I did the foot peg mounts in black. And then I got distracted with the garage door opener. It was blinking. I had to change the lights, and what did I find? A giant moth ready to burn the house down next to a light bulb in the garage door opener. So there you go. All right, so there's a little fine crack on this plate on both sides, and it's because of 60 plus years of rattling around and working the metal back and forth. It's very brittle, hard to weld, and that is causing cracks on the side. So we're going to have to address that, and we should have welded this corner also. All right, so here's the, and we'll do that later. Here's the touch-up where I try to just kind of feather it in, and then I'll kind of polish and feather it in, even though they're not the same color. They're very close. The crease in this plate, I got a pound from underneath now that it's welded. Now, this is awesome. These kickstands are always eroded away and pitted because they're sitting in the ground the whole time. And ours was a little pitted looking, and I didn't like that. So my son made a spring for the retainer here at a scratch, and it works awesome. And then he found some tubing in the garage. Okay, let's look at that. Oh yeah, that's not going to fall down while you're on the trails, boys. And now it's not all scratched up every time you put the kickstand up. And every one of them is pitted out. Ours was also. It's just from sitting in the dirt for 60 plus years. And now it looks way better. And that's a hydraulic line he had in the garage. All right, so we're almost there. I promise I'm going to go up a hill in the turnaround spot and take it for a ride, but I got to put the screens on and the deer rack on. But we are this close. You can't see my finger, that close. Now the front brake, I just loosened down right now. I got to fix the cam on the front brake. They're front brake pads, just like on a car on the rear brakes. And I got to fix the camming surface, but you'll notice it's like Arnold Schwinn Company in Chicago, and that is stock. Anyway, we're almost there. I just like to fiddle with it. We're both the same age and came from the same place, so I like to go in the garage and just tinker with this and that, little tiny things. That hole right there in the rim is for towing the bike out. And I haven't checked the axles yet, but I'm going to grease them right now. And hopefully it'll be fine. But I got to take the wheels off and go through the axles after a ride. Anyway, thanks for putting up with all the drama, and eventually we will ride uphill in the dirt, hunting style. Until next time.
Nowhere warm, just me and you. Can't go on. What is love?